Well, I'm back. It's been roughly a week. It was just Memorial Day weekend, so I'm back after the long weekend. Was waiting for some tools to show up. If you remember last, I was using this extension with my breaker bar, which is a pretty decent sized breaker bar, to be honest. I don't know how big it is, but we tried it with just 1/2 inch drive and snapped this piece clear off. So it kind of understandable. It's a weak point there, so I broke that. But I ended up just buying a 1-inch drive. I probably could have got by with 3/4 inch, but so anyways, we're going from this to now this. So it's still tough, like, oh, I gotta put a block. Got that on. Oh. And it still takes quite a bit of force to move that. It's not horrible, but those are on tight. I even PB blasted these quite a bit too. Come on. Oh, that one was pretty tight. So we got her. Ooh, that's some heavy duty stuff right there. Let's see if my impact will do the rest of these. Oh yeah. Okay, that worked. So we should be able to just do that for all of them now. But at first, I need to jack this end up again. Rear end. Well, apparently I went Hulk Hogan and jacked this thing up 100 feet up in the sky. Way more than I needed to. But just kind of get that where I want it. Jack stands there. Yep. And there you have it. Gracious. She's still tight, turns out. It comes out. Oh. One. Oh, missed. It's coming, it's just, there we go. Got it. Gloves, 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 gloves. I should put on the jacket that is meant for doing this. fly, man. And let's take a look at this shears. I need a pliers. And squeeze this. We got this guy here, so I'm going to cut that off. We'll get a front facing view of me doing this. Both park brake cables are off. So, if I did my math right, which was no math, I should be able to roll this out of here. If we can get it past here, is the thing. Joys of small shop life. You gotta move all your previous crap to move your current crap. Okay. Come on, Betsy. Woo! You can see my rinky-dinky axle cart design. Probably works pretty good. I don't know if I'd recommend people to do it themselves, but it works. So now we got to move these out of the way. Let's just put this on the toolbox. Take off all this junk. I don't know what I'm going to do with this axle here. I know off-road people like them because they're narrower. I think. Pretty sure. Ah. It's like the spin on top of the jack stands. Quick. I've been kind of procrastinating this, but it's amazing when you actually do it. It doesn't take very long. So this is what really is going to suck coming up. Those springs got to come off. Multiple factors make this not fun. One, a heavy duty spring pack like this weighs like 500 pounds. Probably not that much, but a lot. Two, these are always completely rusted up, the bolts. And three, the bushings are almost nearly always seized to the bolt. Only four, to add to the misery, insult to injury, this pocket is a horrible design and crap just sits in here and rusts the crap out of this. You can see that's like, I don't know, half an inch of just rust flakes. So this one, you basically have to cut off. So like I said, I kind of want to reuse these springs. Those new springs cost so darn much. Well, so far so good. This one is coming out decent here. Maybe. Wow, would you look at that? I think they actually put anti-seize on that, which is a great sign. I don't really know why they would have had this rear suspension off, but it's working out in my favor.
So I basically just repeat this process until I can see if I got something to do. Yep. Well, I got that one on. Now I got a little better access to those ones, maybe. So, we'll see how that goes. Well, this one, the rivets are refusing to move. Wowzers. Yeah, for some reason these ones are not budging at all.
Well, as you can see, I got that off. There's one of them. That hanger's still on it, so I'll have to get that bolt out somehow. And then these two lower pieces gotta come out yet. I wasn't sure if they did off the top of my head, but yeah, obviously looking at these, they do. There's a flat piece. So I think I'm about done for tonight, but I'll hit it again next time I get some time. And well, I got the rubber bushing out, so now I'm just trying to press this inner bushing out. And I got it started, so we'll see. I just don't want, I don't want that to happen. Ah, shit. Oh, thank goodness. That should be. I was really worried that this was going to be horrible to get out, but it really wasn't. So now these bushings I got should fit. Might take a little persuasion, but I think it will. Well, last night I cut this bottom bracket off, as well as got those eyes off. So we can now mock this up. And it looks like, I think it uses, two of these holes are where the rivets were, and then these other two I'll have to drill. These rivets, I don't know, they just like rust welded in or something. Same with there, and I pounded on them a bit, and they're solid. So I might just bolt this guy up and then drill from the bottom. See how that goes. You can still see I missed. Got pretty light on the paint in some spots. I thought I touched this up again. There's another one. too big. There we go. That looks good, I think. I can't mock up this side until we get this cut off. So hopefully I get to that tonight, and then we can also mock up these big guys, which these are hopefully a better design than the Chevy ones. See, there's a big opening and a nice strain hole. Not much area for stuff to get packed in there, so that should work much better. But yeah, I'll look at drilling these out and go from there. Okay, well, I'm going to do some overhead drilling. Whenever I do that, I like to wear full clothing and keep the shaving out of my shirt. So I'll sit here and drill for a while, and you can watch if you want. It's going. What I could do too is just, see, I already got metal shavings all over my shirt here. Hopefully they're not going down on my shirt. I could drill a smaller hole and then use that step-up bit to take care of it. Now, you get the idea. I'll save my battery and keep working on this. This is tiring, man. I got 2 of them drilled out. I just switched to the step bit because it's way freaking faster. But wow, that takes a lot out of a guy. I don't know what happened here. Now the rivet hole looks right. I don't know if my drill moved. Well, it was another pretty successful work day in the shop here. I showed all that already. I did get this bottom bracket here. I got that cut off. So you can see that's missing here. There's definitely some rust underneath of that, so I'll have to clean that up good. See what it looks like after we get it cleaned up. You can definitely tell that where this where that spring bracket was down here, where all that dirt and stuff sits. It's pretty good. Hopefully not enough to concern me, but all right, I'm back. It's been quite a long time since I've filmed anything, but I have been making some progress on this axle swap that I've been doing. That guy right there. I've had a lot of stuff going on, so it's just been kind of slow, you know, a couple hours here and there throughout the last weeks, but I got the leaf springs kind of back together, painted. I did not actually tear down the leaf springs. I totally reconditioned, so it, you know, in between each spring there's still gonna be rust and stuff in there. I tried to get paint in there as best I could. Let's see, you got that other one. I got the new bushings in from ORD. I got all of these new hangers mounted. Same on this side. One thing to note is that supposedly these are, I mean, they are pre-drilled, and supposedly they're supposed to fit in the holes where the old hangers were, but I found that it's not really close. A couple of the holes lined up, but basically I had to re-drill every single one. These ones were close, but not great. And then these ones, the bottom inner ones, are completely off. I had to drill those out for sure. So not exactly a easy swap, but not terrible. Overhead drilling is never fun. You can see I've got all my shavings. And so anyways, I started refurbishing the old shackles, but I found that the bushings, greasable bushings that ORD sends, are actually 1.5 inches, and the old ones were something like 1.4, so it wasn't gonna fit. So I went ahead and splurged, and I bought the ORD shackles. So they are much heavier duty. These will be more than enough for what I'm gonna do. So you can see I got a coat of primer on these bad boys. There. One shackle ready to go. That is heavy. Look at that. Keep going. Can't go that way going though. Let's try that. There we go. That's what heavy duty towing springs looks like with ORD's spring hangers and heavy duty shackle here. You see there's plenty of clearance there now. Seems to hang good. Well, I did not film it, but I wire wheeled and cleaned up all of these brackets, engine mounts, bump stops, other ones right here. These are for the rear, and then the rear shock mounts. I don't know if, there's still some rust in there I need to get. Now we shall see how wide this axle really is. These things I should just cut off. Shot anyways. And they get in the way constantly. Boy. I can get this thing in. I'm gonna have to lift this whole thing up. Just touching the fresh paint. That's actually pretty close, to be honest. Height-wise, look at that. Oh, almost perfect, dude. I'm gonna have to lift that up a little bit to get it to fit. That's what it looked like sitting under there. Definitely wider. The cabin chassis, this back of the drum was literally right up against the spring. So now we got that big of a gap on both sides. Probably a little bit in here. Something like that maybe. Well, as you can see, I've been making some progress on this. I got the axle under, I got the spring perches on, just loosely. I haven't welded them yet. I used my shop crane to lift that up. I think what I'll do is take the U-bolts and just put these on, but just loosely tighten those so that the axle is connected to the leaf springs, and then lift this all the way up, or a decent amount up. Let's take my little axle cart out and then lower it back down. I don't know, maybe I'll put the wheels on it. Put the wheels on, lower it back down, and that would give me about ride height. And then I should be able to set my pinion angle. And then I got my lawnmower over here that it was kind of sputtering or something, and I think it's the fuel system on it that's bad. This fuel filter, you can see there's a ton of junk in it, and when I blew it out, there was kind of a lot of crap settled on one end, so I think it was probably just blocked and it wasn't getting enough fuel. Hopefully that was the issue. But all this old fuel line is pretty old, and it's getting kind of, it's not bad, it's a little brittle. So anyways, I just ordered more fuel line. So I found that at least the input shaft, that one has the flange or adapter or whatever on it. But I'm assuming the input and output shafts are the same angle. But so that one, how I have it set up there, output shaft was measuring about 3 degrees, and this surface right here facing this cover was also about 3. So I'm measuring about 0.2 on this. So I think it's safe to say about 0 degrees. Yeah, even there it's reading 0. So I think I can set my pinion to basically 0. And then this shaft is at 3. I was trying to center up this axle under these springs, and the 1-ton spring gap or distance is 40.5. So I should measure 40.5 center to center on these springs. So I'm measuring 43 in the back, subtract 2 inches for the width of the spring, and that, or 2.5 inches, and that gives you 40.5. But okay, let's quick take note. I think this was 43. So then we go to the front. This should also be 43, right? Wrong, we're at 42.5, so it's ½ inch off. So then what I found too is when I measure center to center here, I get not 40.5. So that's what was goofing me up when I was marking the spring perches. So I don't know what to do. I actually my farm truck, the K20, I went and measured that, and that one also, so I think the 3/4 tons are 42 1/4, something like that, for the spring width. And that one also measured about a 1/2 inch off in front. I also did, just as a spot check, I did the diagonals on the frame, and it's within like a 1/16 to 3/16 inches, which is not bad. So I'm not quite sure what's driving that 1/2 inch gap there, but I'm not sure if I should, on my axle, center it at 40 1/2 or do it for what it's at right now. My other truck, it's the factory spring purchase, so it should be the 42 1/4 or whatever, and those fit on okay, so I don't know. I'll have to check radar. Hopefully we get quite a bit. That's what she looks like. I'll have to obviously cut those threads off later after I get it tacked and all that. I forgot to, I'll have to redo my angle. Let me just cross this out, because I forgot that you need to have it at ride height when you measure that angle, because the springs will compress and all that. So I'll have to get some tires on this and then lower it down and then adjust my pinion. But I don't know. I was going to measure from the springs to this backing plate, but you can see it's kind of bent in some spots. So instead I measured from the springs to this hub or brake drum, this surface, because that should be, I think ideally you would have the wheels, the driving surface, centered to the springs of the frame. Not necessarily the, I was measuring off this, so this should give you even spacing, but tolerances aside and stuff, I would think that this would be the preferred surface. I don't know. I also don't know how close this has to be either. My other truck, farm truck, I'm sure it's completely screwed in alignments and all that. The front tie rod, when the differential was exploded on that when I got it. Either my grandpa or my dad blew that up at some point. I think that's actually why it got parked. But so I dropped the whole axle out to swap that. And when I threw it back together, I just kind of eyeballed the alignment on the front tires, and that thing drives darn nice down the road. So it's like, I don't know how close these things have to be. So I'll do the other side and keep going. Well, we are officially off the jack stand, so this is confirmed full droop, which is not much. You can see it kind of pulled apart. The springs there, you can see inside a little bit more. But yeah, that's as far down as she goes. Brake lines have gotten in the way so much here. Okay, I should be able to, I'm going to double check the measurement quick. Okay, she's officially on her own 2 feet now. Well, I might be changing my thoughts here. So I originally was thinking I would do something similar to this diagram, if you can see that, where the pinion matches the transmission output, basically, but that diagram is assuming that your output shaft of the transmission here is 0 degrees, whereas this diagram shows it as a decline. And so when I measure this shaft, it's like 3.9 degrees, and you can see the pinion is supposed to be adjusted to match that angle of the first shaft. You can see that there. Adjust the axle to be on the same angle as the first shaft. So I think that makes sense. I also, when I quick measured the old pinion angle on that flat spot of the axle, I was measuring 3.5 to 3.7. So now I'm at 3.9, and well, I've got it at 3.7 now. 3.7. So I'll double check my measurement again, and then I think I'll tack that. But 3.7 puts me at roughly where it was before. Well, my GoPro died, so I'm going to film this with my phone, and I think the footage is never quite as good as GoPro, unfortunately, but I'll try and capture tack welding this. So now I got that tacked. So now I'll pull it back out.
I gotta remember to kind of swirl back as I'm going. Well, I got it done. It's kind of a mix of garbage welds and okay welds. You see, there's some, I forget what those are called, where you get the air that comes back up and it screws up your weld. That was happening on and off. But just to prove that I can weld, here's a bead with those same settings. Works just fine. So I don't know what the heck was going on, but it's welded on at least. I mean, it was penetrating plenty good, so that'll hold. And we should be good to go, so hopefully we're good.
Should be good, but there it is. It's looking good. Well, I think I got my pinion angle set. I'll have to clean up these wheels at some point and probably paint them. And then I'm gonna wire wheel the axle and paint that up good as well. Yeah, these welds aren't great. It should hold. That's not bad. It's just not pretty. Well, bonus clip, since I was so annoyed with my welds, I wanted to prove to myself that I could indeed weld. So here's what we. These are just spare blades from I don't even know what you call it, rotary mower. So you can see where it has the cutting blade at, but it's probably about, I don't know what that is. On the chart, I went 5/32, which was about 20 wire feet, or 20 volts and 12.5. And that seemed to work good. You can see that weld right there has a couple porous spots, and you can see it didn't penetrate great. Oh, you probably can't see. Penetrate great right there. But this side Oh, come on. Focus. Whatever. This side, same on the other side. Very nice.